Between June 1940 and August 1945, the United States produced 41 billion rounds of small arms ammunition. This figure, verified from the Army Service Forces Annual Report, is one of several production totals from the Second World War that are difficult to hold in the mind as a single number. 41 billion rounds. In the same period, American factories built 12,000 ships, 297,000 aircraft, 86 vehicles and tanks, 2.4 million trucks, and enough food to feed both the American military and the Allies. Most of this production came from factories that did not exist in 1941. The American mobilization of 1942 through 1945 was not a military story in the conventional sense. It was an industrial story that determined the outcome of a military contest. The weight of war materiel the United States produced and shipped to its own forces, to Great Britain, to the Soviet Union under Lend-Lease, to Australia and the Pacific Theater, has been calculated by historians at over $650 billion in 1940s currency. What this number means in practical terms is that by 1944, American factories were producing more war materiel every 3 months than Germany produced in a full year. To understand how this happened, it is necessary to understand what it required. In early 1942, the War Production Board began converting civilian manufacturing. The Ford River Rouge plant, which had built 1 Zeno cars per day, was retooled to produce B-24 Liberator bombers. By 1944, it was completing 1 B-24 every 63 minutes. Chrysler's Detroit tank arsenal produced the M4 Sherman at a rate that eventually reached 580 tanks per month. In 3 years, the arsenal built more tanks than Germany produced for the entire war. The Liberty Ship Program, administered by the United States Maritime Commission, took cargo vessels that had previously required 12 months to build and reduced construction time to an average of 42 days. The SS Robert E. Peary, built at the Kaiser Richmond Shipyard in California, was assembled in 4 days, 15 hours, and 26 minutes. The final total of Liberty ships built, 2,710 vessels. They moved the equipment, the food, the ammunition, and the soldiers. These numbers did not appear from nothing. They required the women who ran the production lines. By 1943, women constituted 65% of the aircraft industry workforce. They required the conversion of automobile plants, appliance factories, and typewriter manufacturers. They required aluminum drives and rubber drives and the reorganization of the entire American consumer economy around the question of what the war needed. In 1944, the United States shipped 572,000 tons of food to Great Britain. In the same year, American industry delivered over 400,000 Jeeps to Allied forces. The Soviet Union received, under Lend-Lease, over 400,000 trucks, 2,000 locomotives, and enough food to feed 11 million soldiers for a year. Marshal Zhukov said after the war that the Soviet Army could not have maintained its offensive operations without American food and trucks. The German High Command's assessment of Allied material capacity was documented in post-war interrogations. Generaloberst Jodl, reflecting on the war's outcome, stated that the Allied production capacity had made the result inevitable from approximately 1943 onward. This is not a story about one moment or one soldier or one decision, though there are many of those. This is a story about what happens when an entire economy turns toward a single purpose with the full weight of industrial capacity behind it. By the end of the war, the United States had produced approximately 41% of all war materiel used by all combatants on all sides. 41 billion rounds of ammunition, 2,710 Liberty ships, 1 B-24 every 63 minutes. The war was won in many places. A significant portion of it was won on the production floor.